Hey, Melanie, I didn't know if you knew this, but the Acolyte, the woke space lady scissorsing, um, making force babies, that show was canceled. Did you know that?
Oh, no way. I would have never predicted that. I thought it
Yeah,
was going to be a bigger hit than Mandalorian.
yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want to tune in to watch lore destroying, strong, independent women of color who don't need no man destroy Star Wars? I can't figure it out. A whole 50,000 people have signed an online petition to restore the show.
The
What?
Cope tweets are hilarious. Seeing some people are like, "Oh, this show has changed my life and I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
devastated because wow, just seeing the representation, it just really gave me new meaning to life." It's like, "Wow, over this?"
Yeah, I mean, you are extremely sad. You have no role models in your life. If you think that like, you know what I mean? Like what?
Such poorly written characters
Of
and
course.
such a phoned in show. Um yeah, terribly made show. I mean, like, I get being a big fan of something. Obviously, I have a huge Lara Croft statue behind me. Um, but that was actually good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the Cope tweets are unbelievable. They are not going to renew the show. As far as I can tell, with very few exceptions, maybe none has any show been renewed due to viewer outrage. Um,
Right.
Perhaps the biggest I can think of would be Firefly, maybe, and they never
Okay.
renewed that.
Yeah.
You could point to like Family Guy getting renewed, but that's not because people were outraged, it's because people bought the DVDs.
Right.
A ton of people bought the DVDs, so they brought the show back. So I mean, all these like, oh, we're gonna sign a petition. It doesn't matter. Maybe instead of doing a petition when you have about bringing your show back, you should have watched it. You know?
Exactly, because clearly a lot of those people signing that petition weren't watching it, and a lot of people who keep crying about, "Oh, we need more of this representation, that representation, or we need more queer stuff, or this, that, and the other." Whenever stuff is made with that, they clearly aren't watching it, or a lot of these people just aren't. I think a lot of it is bots as well, because
Yeah.
what it looks like on when you look at Twitter, and if you're really going to try to use that as a basis of, oh, let's let this be an example of what people want to see because of the likes on Twitter. Well, that's just not going to work, because I feel like the representation on Twitter is way more inflated than what we actually see.
Yeah, I mean, and it's always these like um like Acolyte is life, and it's like an anime Acolyte avatar. It was created like in the last week,
Yeah.
and it'll get like 50,000 likes. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I saw the
Um,
same thing whenever people were because a lot of us, so Tomb Raider fans, when we saw the Netflix show trailer and all that, we were complaining about how it looks like they're making Lara Croft a lesbian, which we already were anticipating from
yeah.
some leaks and stuff. Well, all of a sudden, just a bunch of queer Twitter found that, or bots or whatever. Oh, wait, but Lara Croft's always been a lesbian. Oh,
Didn't
but
you
we like this,
know?
and yeah, they're just straight up lying and trying to erase history. And it's like,
Yeah.
wow, if you looked at Twitter, it would look like there's a bunch of support for this, but look at the actual trailer, the likes and dislikes ratio, the comments, and then once you actually see which the numbers of people actually supporting it and watching it, it's just going to be so low.
Yeah, I mean, I think that so first of all, nobody watched the show. Second of all,
Yep.
it's another classic example of Disney execs thinking that Twitter bots are real people. Just
Yeah.
like just like when they fired Gina Carano, and then everyone tuned out of The Mandalorian. It
Yep.
was like, oh yeah, but a bunch of people on Twitter are mad about her making fun of pronouns, so we should probably fire her. They lost way more viewers than they gained by doing that. They destroyed several other spin-offs, which would have had cult followings because people love Gina Carano. Um, and now this one, the star of the show, who put out a music video, rage
Yeah.
twerking to own the haters, put out a 9-minute legendary Cope video. We're gonna take just a little look at just a little bit of it.
However, I feel okay. Okay. Hello. I thought I would get on here and just
Cool.
speak candidly. I hate doing this.
You can tell
I
she
hate
just
doing this,
doesn't
but I'm gonna do it.
doesn't give a
I
crap.
honestly I don't use social media very much anymore. And I'm so
she
happy
doesn't
about
understand.
that.
But I'm gonna make this video
but
anyway.
there are
I
many
know.
folks out there that I want to acknowledge and I want to show appreciation and love and support for. So that's why I'm hopping on here to talk about this.
I can't be bothered to pay attention.
I know that's the
Because
thing. If
my
she cared
our
about the
show,
fans who were
our show has
upset,
been
she wouldn't
canceled.
be all giggly and yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
say I'm gonna be
cash my
transparent
check
and say
anyway.
that it's not
Yep.
a huge shock for me. Of course, I live in the bubble of my own reality, but for those who aren't aware, there has been a rampage of vitriol that we have faced since the show was even announced.
So she's mad. She blames the show being canceled on people making fun of it. When if the show had, let's put it this way, if the show had 6 million, 7 million viewers of every episode and 50 million people making fun of it, it would have been renewed.
Right.
Nobody watched the
that's
show.
the thing. If the show is good, and then it will garner viewership. And they like to give us critics way too much credit and act like we have some sort of power to make people decide whether to watch or not to watch something. It's crazy. No, I've reviewed stuff. I've taught like the Last of Us TV show, for example. I didn't like it, but I had a ton of people in my comments, even my own viewers, were like, well, I like it. That's your opinion, but I disagree. I think it's good. And, they're getting a second season. So obviously we don't have the power to sway people's opinions. If a bunch of people are dunking on this and the show's not getting the viewership that it needs, well, then they needed to take a look at the actual show itself and say, why are people able to dunk on this so much? And why do people love to hate it? Clearly, there's reasons.
Well, and maybe she should acknowledge the fact that, sure, a couple YouTubers are making fun of it, but how about CNN, MSNBC, Variety Magazine, Entertainment Weekly, Hollywood Reporter, New York, every major New York Times, Washington Post, every single major mainstream media outlet on earth, every major critic said the show was unbelievable and people should watch it. So a few YouTubers making fun of it, she's acknowledging are more powerful than her star power, more powerful than the mainstream media, more powerful than, all of the critics banding together to say this show is good. I don't believe that.
Yep.
It's she's just coping. Of course, Amandla Stenberg confirms Acolyte is canceled, proceeds to blame a rampage of hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol. The show sucked.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that's the thing is for people to be dunking on it and memeing on it so much, it has to be that terrible. Because if it was just a matter of this is boring, then even a review dunking on it is going to be boring. But if it's just exceptionally bad, so cringe that you can laugh at it and people want to watch you laughing at it, then they're giving plenty of material.
Yeah, I mean, if the memes aren't funny, they don't go viral.
Yep.
If you don't have two women scissoring and making force babies, people aren't making fun of that. If you don't have fire in space, people aren't making fun of that. It is so weird to me that these people are so out of touch. But then again, I guess it's really not that surprising. By the way, Weird Robot says, I wonder if Amandla is going to make another sick song and twerk that ass. Also, Melonie is and Jeremy is a fat. Love you guys.